Hi everyone, this is Sandy Reese with StampinCrew.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Welcome to our weekly tutorial. It has been a crazy day so far. I'm leaving tomorrow to go down to Little Rock, and then we are flying out for the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip to Hawaii on Saturday, so I'm very excited, but it also been very stressful. I had to drive to Paragould this morning to get a COVID test. So that's always very stressful, but it came back negative. It's uploaded to the website, so I am ready to go. Phew! So Jackie's getting hers done in about 15 minutes, and all our other Arkansas demonstrators that are going, they're all cleared and ready to go. So that was the worst part. Really the worst part. So anyway, lots of errands, delivering orders, all that nonsense. So yeah, I'm excited, ready to go. We have one more class tonight. Tomorrow is the last day to sign up for our product shares. You can order all of them. You can order designer paper or ribbon or embellishments or the 6x6 color family designer paper, whatever you want to do. You can go to StampinCrew.com, go to registration, and the product shares are there, so you can order online. You can call me or text me. I'll get all that ordered before I go tomorrow. And then tomorrow is also the last day to sign up for the Hats Off class. Very excited about that one. That was like the first thing I wanted out of the new catalog. So I've got 4 of the 5 projects designed. I had to order something for the last one, so that came in yesterday, and I'm excited. I actually used one of the cards for our Trip Achiever swap that we're taking. I'm taking those with me, and yeah, so I'm excited about the projects. Fun. I love that stamp set. It's got a big baseball cap, lots of little things you can, like put on the cap, and you could even do your own thing. Also, it's got a little teeny baseball cap. It's got a buffalo die, a small one, buffalo, a fish die, a tree, a lightning bolt, a star. I mean, it's got a lot of stuff in it. Okay, so let's get on with our project for today. Now, I've had a lot of requests for samplers. Now, I did a whole year. Last year, we did a sampler every month of 12 by 12 samplers. I don't know that I can really improve on any of those because I did one for each holiday. So what I'm going to do a mini sampler from starting here through the rest of the year. Just a little mini 8 by 8 sampler, just for something a little bit different. So today I thought I would do a sampler, and since I'm leaving for Hawaii, I thought I would do a seashell sampler. So let me flip you all upside down. I see Christy's on. Hi, Christy. Where's my settings? That's weird, I don't see them. Why don't I see my settings? Let's go back. Let's try that again. No. Where the heck are my settings? It's giving me all kinds of weird stuff, but not my settings tab. All right. I don't know why. Let's... Huh. Oh, it won't let me flip my phone upside down. That's going to be a problem. All right, so I'm not sure, guys, why it won't give me my settings to flip my phone. So what are we going to do here? Let's see. I don't know if... Okay, that's not the right one. That's my ceiling or my wall. Why are you doing it? Oh, really, literally, it won't give me my settings to flip it. So I'm just gonna flip it upside down, and then I will just do my projects upside down. How's that? We'll work on that, and then I will figure it out why it's not working. Okay. Okay, let's see. Why do I keep wanting to try it? I don't know. Okay, we're gonna flip it, and I'll just do it upside down. How's that? It will look hopefully right to you. I'll put this upside down so it makes me remember that I'm upside down. Okay, so we're going with the Sand and Sea Suite. Oh, sorry. See, I've already forgotten. Sand and Sea Suite. And I'm using the Friends Are Like Sea. I'm just kind of looking to see. You guys tell me if that looks okay. The Friends Are Like Seashell stamp set, the dies, and this embossing folder along with the paper. I do have a couple other little products that we'll be using as well. So this is our stamp set. And then we're also going to use a couple images out of the Whale Done stamp set, because this is kind of more of a realistic looking set like the seashells, and I thought they looked really nice together. So let me show you what I'm going to do, but I'm going to change the colors a little bit on what I do next. Okay, this is our sampler. I'm doing an 8x8, so you can get these frames at, you know, the HL store. And I'm just doing four little squares. So the DSP is 8x8. The Misty Moonlight cardstock squares are 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. And the designer paper is 2.5 by 2.5. So I'll put all of these measurements on the website later today. Okay, so let us get started. All right, so this is our designer paper. It's from the that pack, so it's got all the seashells on one side and then the sand, kind of the sand on the back. So this is 8x8. Then I took about a half sheet of basic white, and you're going to use the big die, and you're going to cut that out. So I've already run it through the embossing or the die cutting machine just to cut out that piece, and I'm going to use that extra for my extra pieces. So here's the die cut piece, so everybody can see that, right? Okay, I'm going to stamp on this, so you have to die cut it first. Then if you're not going to stamp, you're just going to sponge. You would run it through the embossing folder first, and then you would sponge all the highlighted. But I wanted to stamp, so I am going to do my stamping first, and then we are going to emboss it. All right, so I'm going to do this little Nautilus shell. Now, on my first sample, I used Cajun Craze. I'm going to use Calypso Coral on this one. And the trick is just to get it centered on this, this area of the die cut piece. Oh, pretty close, pretty close. Now what I'm going to do though, is I'm just taking a little blender pen, and as soon as I stamp each one of these, I'm going to do a quick little blending before the ink's completely dry. Now it's not adding a whole lot of color. It did more on the darker one, but I just want it filled in a tad. Okay, if it's not perfect, it's okay. I'm off just a hair, but no worries. All right, we've got this little shell. Make sure it's going the right way. No, I gotta go this way. Okay, you can look at the embossing folder too, and kind of gives you a little clue. I'm gonna set that there so I can see which way everything goes. I'm going to use Sahara sand on the shell. Let's see, that goes there. Okay, I'm going to try to get this centered maybe a little bit better. it'll look. Okay. All right, okay. It's not perfect, that's okay. Because after embossing this, we're gonna kind of just trim them out with scissors. Okay, next color I'm going to use So Saffron on this big shell right here. I think I used Bumblebee on the first one. So this one's going to be slightly lighter. I was going for a little more subtle colors. This go round. Ooh, almost perfect. Not quite, but getting better. A little bit off at the top. That's not gonna matter. Okay. Then let's do, got some Flirty Flamingo. Let's do that for our larger little shell right here. Let me find the right way for this to go. Okay. See, I am not getting these perfectly lined up, so don't worry if you don't. It's okay. Not a big deal. Okay, I've got, I need my cleaner is what I need. Too many blocks going on here. Okay, let's take that off, and I'm going to use this little shell right there, and let's do this one in Misty Moonlight. Like this, I like soft sea foam. That would have been my first choice, but we don't get that anymore. Okay, which way does this shell go? This is the little one, which is where? Right here. It's going down. Is that where it goes? It's kind of going this way. All right, that's better. Let's see, pretty close. Okay, let's do a little coloring in. Oh, that one went really well. Always just kind of wipe your blender pen there to get all the extra ink off. Okay, let's move everything over. And next we are going to run this through the embossing folder. So this is the tricky part, is getting it lined up. So just kind of look. I'm looking right here at this tip, and then I'm going to just kind of make sure all my little leaves for all my leaves are lined up for all of the seaweed that goes around. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'll grab my Big Shot. That's what I have closest to me. Okay. Stick this in, and we're going to emboss the whole thing at once. Now, it may be a little hard to see, but now it has some really great texture on the on all the shells. So next I just need to, I'm going to finish cutting them out because they don't all come cut out. Kind of get through here, get one of these off. Okay, and because it's not perfectly centered, I'm just have to trim a little extra off, but that's okay. Only takes a minute. So just follow your contours around, cut off any extra. Okay. I'm not cutting apart my seaweed too much because I'm going to use an extra piece of seaweed later. I'm not the best cutter either, sorry. But you know, that's okay. We do not have to be the best to have fun and make a fun project. All right. I like this Calypso Coral better than the what I use, Cajun Craze. That was a little dark. I felt that was a little dark. But it looked, well, I was looking at pictures of the shells to find colors that went well, or supposed to be close to what real shells are. And it looked like it was Cajun Craze, but it didn't have that much color on it. It was just like little stripes. So just felt it was a little bit on the jarring side. Okay. Almost done with cutting. Okay. Okay, let's get this last little blue shell. And we'll be done. Need a little extra cut off there. Okay, I'm going to save this piece. I'm just going to get rid of this mess. Okay, now we need a few more pieces before we assemble. I'm going to stamp a sentiment, and I think my sentiment is, where is my sentiment? I know I put it on a block, I thought. Here it is. Okay, I like this. This is the Friends Are Like Seashells. And let's use some of the Misty Moonlight, so it'd be nice and bold. I'm just gonna stamp that right there. We're gonna punch that out. And then I want to stamp a sand dollar, because that does not come with in my, my big set. So let's just do a sand dollar there, and let's see if we can get a quick little, you know what, that's not going to go. So it's not blending. Let's just grab a little bit of ink and a sponge dauber. I'm just gonna sponge just a little bit, just so it's not quite so white, even though sand dollars are pretty white. I just want to get a little bit of color on that. All right, and let's do our starfish. And we'll just use some So Saffron. Starfish. Let's see if we can blend the starfish. Not a lot. I'm going to get a little ink on my blender pen and add it to my starfish. Don't want it real strong, just a little bit. Okay, that's better. Okay, so we got a little color with that. And anything, we're going to do a sea turtle from the whale done set. Now with my sea turtle, I want to stamp it in, I'm going to use Pear Pizzazz, but I want a darker shell. So I'm going to use the Mossy Meadow marker. So let's ink this up with Pear Pizzazz. And get our brush tip on the Mossy Meadow marker. We're just going to kind of color his shell, just to make him a little bit two-tone, not just all one color. Give it a quick huff just to be safe, and we're gonna, ooh, that looks so good. Okay, I think that's all I need for now. So we are going to take these pieces out. So let's do, I'm using the, what is this called? Everyday Label Punch? Is that what it is? My book's too far, I can't see. Okay, Everyday Label Punch. This is a perfect size for this one. Okay, then we do have to die cut these two pieces out. So I've got my die right there, and where's the starfish? Starfish. starfish right there. Let's grab our big shot one more time. My messy cutting plates. Okay. Look how well loved my magnetic platform is. It's a mess, I'm telling you. That's okay. All right, we're done with that. Let's see. I like these dies because they line up pretty well. All right, starfish. Don't jump around on me now. Okay, hopefully that's good. Looks okay. I do not have a die for the sea turtle, so I'm going to have to cut that one out. For a little sampler, I seem to have a lot of pieces for this, but that's okay. It'd probably be more if I was doing a 12 by 12, wouldn't it? Okay, let's do a quick trim on the sea turtle. Okay. Quickly. All right, guys, I'm getting hungry. I can hear my stomach growling. Oh, too close. That's okay. I usually leave a little bit of white so I don't have to be quite so precise when I'm cutting. But then sometimes I get a little close. Okay. All right, that's okay. Now I've got this little bit of seaweed. Let's go ahead and I think I'm just going to use this one big piece. Make sure that little piece is cut out. We'll set that aside in case we need it. And then let's use some old olive and just kind of sponge that. It's pretty dark, but oh well. This needs a little bit of smoothing out here from when I cut it off. Let's just smooth that out. We're gonna cut that bottom off too. Okay, that looks pretty good. Oh, and I just stuck my fingers in it. Oh, so close to not making a mess. Now my fingers are green. Okay. All right, I think we're ready for some assembly. So let's grab our pieces here. So we have these. I've got, now this is the same pattern. It's the little sea urchins on one side, and then it has the water on the other. So I'm only using one of the sea urchin sides. So let's just glue this down. Okay. Then I think we can go ahead and glue all these down too. I'm just using a little bit of Tombow because my seal adhesive ran out and I forgot to get a new one from downstairs. So we're going with a very thin layer of Tombow liquid glue. Okay, get this on. Okay, let's just do one square at a time. So we're going to start with this one, and I'm going to use the label on here. And we do need some holes. I've got some string, so I forgot. I'm using this one. It's the Label Me Fancy Punch because it has a little hole. It also has like a slot. But I'm going to use the hole. It's kind of hard to judge where it is, so if you're doing this, putting a hole in for ribbon or something else, just make a little mark so you can see what you're doing. And then hold your punch upside down, and then you can see in the hole where your little dot is, hopefully. There it is. And just punch out your little dot. That way you get it lined up and it's not off. That's right where you want it. Okay. Let's see, we need some linen thread. I like this because it matches. And I think I'm going to tie this on the left side of the label. And we're going to pop this up. So let's find a dimensional. Got some big black ones, but that's okay. I'm going to leave this loose. I'm just putting one on the top and one on the bottom. Okay, I'm trying to do this upside down. I keep forgetting. All right, let's just put this right in the center, hopefully. Okay, that looks pretty good. We'll bring this around and tie a bow. Maybe. Maybe tie a bow. I know we all struggle tying bows occasionally. Sometimes that's just the way it is. I don't know what the problem is today. Oh my. My. Okay. Let's trim this off. Probably a little bit long. I don't need that going too crazy. All right, I think that one is done. All right, let's work on this next one. I kind of like the lighter at the bottom. I don't know. Maybe the lighter at the top. All right, so we are going to stamp some fish on this one. Where's our fish from the Whale Done? And we're gonna go with the Misty Moonlight. Trying to stamp upside down. I think these need to go closer to this side. Hopefully I'm getting those right. Okay, perfect. So we got some fish in the background. And then we're going to glue our shell, right, our big shell right there. I'm going to just adhere this flat. I don't like to pop up too much unless it's like a big shadow box frame, and that can come off a little bit too. It's okay. All right, then I'm going to glue the seaweed down over the shell, but I like that it kind of pops through so you can see it. But this kind of, even though it's all flat, it gives it a little bit of depth. Okay. I want that lined up with the bottom. All right. I don't have a lot of glue, just a little bit. And then I'm going to put this one right on top, but we will pop up this one. Just stick a dimensional right in the middle. Okay. Just put that kind of at an angle over there. All right, I think that one is good. You know what, this is not popping up at the end. Let's throw a little dimensional under there just to make sure it's popped up a bit and secure. Okay, that's better. All right, so that's two. All right, next one, let's do, I'm going to do the sand dollar kind of up at the top. We're going to do this one flat. Get that sand dollar. And then let's add the little Nautilus, or well, the big Nautilus shell. I actually have one of these somewhere. We have a seashell collection the kids did for science fair one year. And we got one of those. Okay, I need a dimensional. I know I needed something. Lost my train of thought there for a minute. Okay. Let's just kind of pop this up. All right, that's another one down, and then we'll do this one. Okay, so I do want to stamp a little bit of seaweed from Whale Done. I'm gonna use some of that seaweed. which I thought I put on the stamp, but I didn't. So, or put on the block. You know what I mean, right? The block, not the stamp. Okay, let's put the seaweed on the block, and we're going to use some Old Olive. Old Olive, my favorite green. All right, I'm going to hopefully, probably should have stamped before I put it on the background, but I think we can make that work. All right, we've got a little seaweed on this side. Okay, just a little bit there. All right, pretty close. All right, now I think we're done stamping. Okay, we've got, what do we have left? We have our turtle and our two little kind of scallop shells. So let's just stick these shells down at the bottom. I don't want to cover up too much seaweed. I'm going to pop this little one up though. Okay. And just kind of overlap. And let's pop up our sea turtle. Oop. One more, I think. Spread that out. All right, there we go. Okay, I think we are set. Okay, now what I do want to do before we put everything on, I think I'm going to go this way. So just kind of look at your DSP and see which way you want it to go. I have a piece of our silver mesh ribbon somewhere. Where is it? Here it is. It's hard to see. Okay, I want to put this kind of going from bottom left to top right. Is this bottom left to top right? Okay, that's the right way. But I'm going to pull it apart and kind of break it up a little bit. So I want it to kind of look like, you know, torn fishing net or something. So I only want to attach it under where two of our panels are going to be, two of our little squares. So I'm just using a little piece of double-sided tape. I think I'll put it, that should be a good spot. And then down here, just kind of eyeball it. All right, let's peel this off. Okay, I'm just gonna stick this down. I don't want it to go past the frame, just kind of so I can make sure I see it. And if I can trim off a little extra if I need it. I don't want it too bulky in here because those pieces are gonna glue down. So I'm gonna just trim off a little bit. Make sure that that looks pretty. Okay. So for this one, for a guide for our edges, I made up a little square and I cut 4 pieces of 8" by 1 1/8. So it's 1 1/8 inch wide, and then I just taped them using my DSP to make sure they were in a perfect square. So all 4, just 8 inches by 1 1/8, and then I taped them at the corners front and back to make sure it was nice and sturdy. Okay, so this one's nice and easy. I don't have to eyeball anything. I'm just going to glue them into the corners, all 4 corners. So we're going to put sea turtle up here at the top right. And it's going over that mesh ribbon, so make sure that you hold it down and that it's flat. Okay. And I felt like maybe that might be okay. All right, so the next one down is this one. So we'll glue that in. Hold holding that in place. Okay, so far so good. Just give that a second. All right, then we're going to do our sentiments block up here at the top left. We'll just slide that into the corner. Hold it for a second, and then this one down at the bottom. Now, I did not use the pearlescent paper. I probably should have. It would have been pretty and sparkly, but I forgot. So you can use the pearlescent paper. Just be aware that it does take a while to dry after you stamp it because it has a film on it, so it doesn't soak into the paper. So just be aware that that's going to happen. So you need to, you know, maybe heat set it or let it dry really well. Or you can, look at that, isn't that cool? Or you can use Wink of Stella afterwards, and you can, you know, kind of wink up some of your shells, give them a little bit of sparkle and glimmer. This is actually more sparkly. The pearlescent paper is a little more shimmery. This is more sparkly. I'm going to do all my shells. Got to go behind my seaweed. I could have sparkly seaweed if I wanted, though. I think I'm just going to do the starfish on that one. Okay, so then this will just go into your frame. So I'll show you kind of the difference on the colors. I like these colors better. They're a little more subtle. So you can kind of see, oh, let's flip this around. So you can see these two. I just changed the yellow. I used saffron instead of bumblebee, and then I used Calypso Coral instead of Cajun Craze. Over here, it's just slightly softer yellow, and a Flirty Flamingo instead of Melon Mambo. I think that's a wiser choice. So you'll just put it in your 8x8 frame, and it's all set. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I will post this on my blog in a little bit with the correct dimensions, all the supplies, all the colors I used. And if you happen to make one, upload it. Let's see what it looks like. And I will see you guys now next week. I will be gone. However, I have already done a fun little aloha card for you. So that will post next Thursday at noon. All right, guys. Thanks so much. See you soon. Bye-bye.